Alright, everyone, welcome to a 24th episode of Everyday Thoughts. It's probably going to be a little bit longer video again. I have quite a few things written down that I want to talk about, so let's just get straight into it. When you fail at something, never say, oh, that shouldn't have been. Man, that's just... Alright, so, yeah. If it's something that matters to you, always ask when and how am I going to try again. So basically, while you're doing what you are doing by saying that to yourself is basically you're not getting off track and you just already have the next goal. Oh, okay, I fucked up. I couldn't manage to do this. I couldn't manage to do that. It doesn't matter. Just go again. Just try again. Because giving up is... Failing is better than giving up. Always. You can give... Like, if you give 100% of your effort into something and you fail, well, then you just failed. Just go again. Do it better next time. Analyze what you did wrong. Do it better next time. But if you give up, you never even give you don't even give yourself the chance to figure out if you could actually do it and what went wrong. Because always when you fail, you can analyze what went wrong and what went right and what can I do better next time. You can't do that when you give up. It's plus the psychological not benefit, the psychological reasoning, or yourself trying to rationalize, well, I gave up because of this and this and this, is far more like comforting and makes you very less likely to try the thing again than if you actually put 100% of your effort into it and you fail as well. So just actually use 100% of your effort, and if you fail, well, then you failed. You know that you did the best you could do and there was no chance of you doing it a better way. You just failed, and you can accept that reality a lot easier than by simply giving up or by not giving it all you got. Then, leading on to that, just because you think you deserve something doesn't mean that you will get it. And that is quite closely linked to don't just think about what you deserve, but get what you deserve. So what I'm trying to say there is, if you know that you're really good in something and you're very qualified to do something, but you don't manage to do it, well, it's the same thing. You failed even though you were fully qualified. So that being said, you have to accept that even if you are capable of doing something, you still might not get it. And that's just a harsh truth that you have to accept and that you have to live with. And it's gonna make a lot of things so much easier to accept, and it's not gonna be like and then you're also very less likely to fall into that pit of, well, I failed, so it's like, I know I could have done it, but somehow I still didn't manage, so it's like, there's no point in even trying. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. Then, don't blame others for failures. Never. If you fail because of outside factors, well, you can't do anything about it. That's just how life goes. But if you did something wrong, you can always look at what you did wrong and reflect upon that. and don't make that mistake again. But you can't change outside factors. So it's like there's no point of getting mad about them. It's like you're just being emotional about something that is not gonna change anything either way. So it's like, why even bother? And what I also found really interesting, you're fully into life. Like, you're not locked in, but like you're fully invested into life. Like, you put 100% bet. You're gonna die either way. So just make the best fucking life out of it that you possibly can. Don't waste your time. And that combined with when you go on your phone, before you go on your phone, think to yourself, wait, what is the purpose of me going on my phone right now? I want to message somebody back. So when you message somebody back, you turn it off again. You don't go on Instagram or TikTok and just scroll out of nowhere, because that's not what you wanted to do. You unlocked your phone because you wanted to message somebody back. So once you've done it, there's no point of doing anything else. Turn your phone off and go on with your day. Then, everyone wants you to do well because it reminds them of them being on the come up, but nobody wants you to do better than them, because it reminds them of things they could have done, but they haven't. So you were probably gonna have like a come up phase where everybody's gonna be rooting for you. But once you've reached a certain level of success, I'd say, you are gonna notice people like looking at you in a pretty bad way or talking about you in a bad way, since they're jealous. But you gotta live with that reality, and that's how it is. And then I also found out, or what I found really interesting, is how you choose your enemies, and that your worst enemy is your internal voice. So basically, it's really important to choose your enemies wisely, because they are what drives you the most. And your internal voice is always going to be a driving factor, since it's always going to be there, and it's always going to have it's always going to be saying something about you that only you know, but you know it's there, and that's driving you. So look for enemies that can make you go further than that they make you go fucking backwards or stay in the same place, because you don't get no benefit out of it besides you wasting energy on that. And yeah, it's the same with tools. So basically, I think that's a pretty good analogy. So basically, when you have a training split, when you're starting out, probably like full body, it's probably the smartest thing you can do. That same split is not gonna be sufficient once you've trained for like 5 years, since you're not gonna have enough stimuli to your muscle to actually make a difference. And that being said, that's just I think a really good analogy to illustrate that the same tools, like you have to change your tools the further you get, since the same tools won't always work. It's the same with a hammer and, for example, like a fucking big ass sledgehammer. They're both tools, but they have two different purposes. And for example, once you advance from a little nail to like a massive screw, for example, or I don't know, then the small hammer is not gonna be enough, and you have to move on to a sledgehammer. I think this is understandable. I hope it, at least hope it is. And then, just because something is hard to obtain doesn't mean it's valuable. And I think that is a really important lesson, because it makes you question a lot of like the materialistic things that are like super rare and very limited. Like the best example I could give you is probably like sneakers. Just because they're like 5 of a pair of sneakers in the world, for example Jordans, they're still, from the quality wise, they're still gonna be the same Jordans, like feeling wise and material wise, probably. But the scarcity of them just being 5 makes them so much more expensive or valuable, even though they really aren't. The second Nike would drop more of those pairs, the price would just instantly go down. And that is just to make you think about if the thing that you're striving for, something materialistic, is really that valuable because it actually is valuable, or it is valuable because of scarcity. And then the last 2 things I got are to always evaluate both of the sides of an argument or perspective or whatever else. Since by doing that, you just become a better thinker, first of all, and you also become more skeptical of your own views, which can make you change them for the better. And also, like, for example, from your close circle, if they have views, questioning that is, I think, very important, since you're going to be more of a own thinker, and you're not going to be like the guy who just agrees because the group says it's that way. And the last thing, I think probably the most important thing, is when you are doubting yourself about anything, or somebody's doubting you, just ask yourself the question, what if though? What if I manage? And that's just gonna like hit a switch in your brain, and be like, wait, what the fuck? What if I actually can do this? What if I can do it against all the odds? And it's gonna make you go all in, but you also have to go all in. And that just leads back to the same thing, that you have to go all in, 100% effort into something. And if you fail, you gave it your all, and you just failed. There's nothing you can do about it anymore, other than reevaluate, ask yourself, when I'm going to do this again, and how am I going to improve it from the last time you did it. And that is basically it for today. I hope you enjoyed it.